I'll spare you the pulling the tape off when I'm ready to solder this stuff together. I guess also by me doing this in real time, I'm not going to do a time lapse on any of this. So this way you'll get the feel for how long it would actually take you to do this. I really suggest you test it before you just match the wires up and solder them and then plug it in. Because if you do that, and say for instance the radio is bad, then you got to cut all the wires off. I mean, granted, if you don't really care, then you could do that. That went together really poorly. Last thing left is the greens. So let's do this. A small piece. This is for the orange one, just to sort of cover up. I'm trying to see if I can slide the wire sheath back down onto the wire. It's close. And what I'll do is I'll just tape it. I think what I'll do is I'll put a piece of shrink tube over that. That'll keep that from coming off. I'll do the same thing on this guy also. Alright, I got my 2 pieces of green, or 2 pieces of tape for my green wires, which are my rear left speakers. So we're getting the, let's get these off first. Alright, so left positive, left rear positive. The left rear positive. Twist and roll and fold. Wrap the tape around it. Keep it together, keep it from shorting. Let's get my other 2 green wires together. These are the negatives. The rear left negatives. Piece of tape on that. And I think at this point, I think we're done. It just looked a little sketchy. Put a little extra piece on there because that actually is the main power line. I don't want that to short out. So everything is all connected. And it looks like this is the only wiring harness I might need, or am going to need, for the radio. Because that covers all the wires to the radio. Trying to determine, do I need this? There is a, I'll take it out just in case, because if I do need it and I want to have it, I don't have to come back in to get it. Nothing's more annoying than having to back and forth, back and forth. And what I'll do is I'll tape all of these to keep them from touching. I guess if you have multiple amps, that's probably what this is for. The model of Explorer I have doesn't have all the bells and whistles. There's no steering wheel controls or anything. It's just pretty much a plain Jane. It's V8 and 4-wheel drive, which is primarily what I wanted. Was just V8 and 4-wheel drive. I'll stick that on there. I know I definitely don't need that one. There's no power antenna. And just to keep those guys together. Alright, so let's break the shrink wrap off of the radio face. Alright. Get that. Let me see if I can pull that off. I'm going to take that off before I go out. I'm just marking it so I know which way is up. I don't think it matters with this. Okay. And that's what the radio looks like. So we need these things, this, the camera. I'll bring you guys along. I need a couple of sockets, which I don't remember if it was a... I guess I could watch the other video that I did on when I took the radio out, but I think I need a either 7 or 8 millimeter. I have those. My trim removal tool, I have that. So I'm going to stop this and we'll pick up back in the truck. Alright, we're in the truck, and after playing with the settings on the radio, not the radio, on the camera, sorry. Alright, let's get started here. Let's see if we can test this, make sure we get this working. Then we can move on to the next step, which is soldering. There's going to be wires attached to your bezel, so be careful not to just pop it and yank it away from the dash. This one has the four-wheel drive option, so there's wire harness connected to that. If you have more options over here, there would be stuff connected there, and you have your air conditioning controls at the bottom. So we'll just slide this out just enough, because all we need to do is get the radio out. I brought the 7 and the 8. That is not the 8, so it's the smaller. Is it the 7? Yes. It's the 7 millimeter. Stick that in my pocket when I go in. I can leave that in the house. I won't need it. And didn't really realize that right here are the two nuts that hold, or two bolts that hold the radio in. At this point, the radio is free. It's sitting on a little track, like a drawer. I think I explained that before in the other video that I did when I took the radio out. And to the left, or to the driver's side, there are two connectors for the wire and harness that goes into the back of the radio, and on the passenger side is the connector for the antenna. And once you pull those three out, and you see, you pull those three out, and you're all done. And your radio's free. Now, in theory, this one should plug into this one with no problems. And it is keyed, so pay attention to the key. That slid into there. And I guess I do have some sort of amp or something. Is that for this one? No, that's not for that one. I have no idea what this wire harness is for. Oh, you know what? This must be for the dimmer and something else. That's primarily the one that you need, is the one that's plugged in. So The other one we're just going to leave. You see it dangling there. We're just going to leave that one. Actually, here, let's scoot this up. We're just going to leave this one. And we need our antenna wire. So let's plug our new radio in. Let's get the antenna hooked up. And this one we don't need because this one does not connect to that harness, so don't need that one. And let's snap this into the back of our radio. And I think the radio is alive. Let's turn the car on. Okay. That's a good sign. Alright, looks like it's working. Alright, looks like we're
that he toasts thee. Wait until the end, Stephen!
that's for the eject. Let's see. Let's see, sound. Set balance. That's what I wanted to check. I guess I have to put some volume in it in order to do that. So let's see. I need to get back to the radio.
Prime members save even more in Foods Market.
Right.
This week, 6
Now,
ounce organic
I can
blackberries
do
are
that.
cheap for $5 just for members. Shop the deal on juicy berries September 5th through September 11th while supplies last. And find
Everything's on the left. Everything's on the right.
Every service, including our specialty price 1995 basic oil change. Trust Meineke to get you back on the road. Visit Meineke.com to find a Meineke
Set fade center.
Farmers Market.
Everything's in the front.
Anything we feel like.
Everything's in the rear. So it looks like we're good to go. So all we have to do is set the time and we'll be good to go. Radio's working, so we'll give it a thumbs up. Next I'm going to solder the wires together, heat shrink all of that, clean that up, put it in the mount, and then mount it into the truck permanently. So at this point I'm going to shut the camera off, disconnect all this stuff, go in, and I'll set up for that. Okay, at this point I think I'm done. What I need to do is just trim a little bit of this tape off of here so I can slip the shrink wrap over this, and then I can shrink wrap everything. As soon as I trim this off and put the shrink wrap on, I'm going to double check, make sure I got everything. There, that fits on. I'll shrink wrap that on there like that. So let's make sure that we got all the wires covered. Some of my soldering skills, some of them came back to me, some of them are a little, they could have been better. I'm gonna make sure I have enough to cover everybody. I think everybody's covered. Alright, I think we're good to go. Now comes the shrink wrap part. So I'm going to unplug my solder iron so it can start to cool. I can get my heat gun and I can plug that in. That ended up coming off completely. Alright. Plan B. We'll cut that. We have another piece. Running out of battery and time. So let's see if we can get this again. Okay, that's more what I want. All right. Let's go through them one by one. Make sure we get them all. Okay, that's all done. I'm going to wrap it and then go put the radio in the truck. And this battery has like 10 minutes left on it. So let's see if we can do the front piece here. I'm not going to walk you through the wrapping part. There's no point in doing that. So there's a couple of different adapters that comes with this. These two I won't need. This is the one that I'm going to need. This is the one similar to the Ford radio. It has a little excess crap on the side here. Alright. So if we look at their original radio, that little tab goes down to the bottom, and that just keeps the radio from bouncing up and down. We have the radio here, and that's going to mount somewhere on the back of that. And there's 4 tabs on the back of the, wait, let's see, yeah, you can see them that way. There's 4 of them there. So this goes in like this. This is the top, this is the bottom. So this piece goes down in there. You bend these tabs out, and that'll hold it in place and keep it from coming out. Seems like most of my tabs are going to be on the side, so that gives you an idea how that goes in there. I'm going to mount, I'm going to mount this in here, put the radio in, put the back piece on, and the bezel, and then I'll pick up outside because this battery is about to die. Alright, we're all ready to get the radio in. It's mounted in its bracket. I thought this piece was going to fit on the back of the radio. The original piece that I showed you wouldn't allow the radio to go all the way in, so I had to rig it up. But I did some test fitting. I wrapped the wire harness, so I guess let's plug it in. And I also taped off the one adapter that doesn't need to be connected to the radio. Radio and the antenna are plugged in. Now slide it in. I did find it's a little snug fit down here, so when you're putting your bezel back on, just be careful. But we're all set. Moment of truth. Why do you need a remote for a car radio? I still don't understand that. So it lost all the programming. I programmed some of the stations, and apparently it lost those. Alright, well, it's in, it's working, so if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll check back in, give you guys a 6-month and a 1-year update on how this is all holding up. So far the install didn't seem like it went too difficult. The hardest thing, it depends on what you want to do, whether you want to actually solder the wire connections to the wire harness, or if you just want to twist the wires together, slap some tape on it and call it a day. The plan is hopefully in a year maybe to sell this truck. If you're interested, a serious offer will be considered. But I'm going to sell the truck. I'm going to keep the radio and put the original radio back in it. So I plan to use this probably in a shop or something if I get a shop. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Look for the 6-month review 6 months from when this posts, which will be September 2018. So 6 months will probably be sometime in January, February, somewhere thereabouts. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day.